Hello and welcome to Love People Use Things Book Club, Chapter 7, the final chapter. Relationship with people. Relationships with relationships. We made it. Let's go. Let's jump in. Alright, so Chapter 7, People. How to work and be with other people. This was the perfect chapter to end this book on because, as Joshua says, when you work on the relationship with yourself, the relationships you have with other people change. When I started doing minimalism and my personality kind of started to change and the things that I stuck up for myself changed, my life changed. And getting clear on my values, getting clear on what I wanted to do, helped me realize that I couldn't fix everybody's problems all the time. And sometimes it's okay to back away, to refocus on what you're doing, and try to make sure that that's the best it can be. And the people you should be working with and the people that you're meant to be working with, you will work with. And so bringing all of this stuff into my life has for sure changed how I interact with people, just because I don't want to say my standards are higher, but they kind of are. I care a lot about the people that are in my life, and I want them to care a lot about me and the things that I care about. And if they don't care about them, that's fine. But if it's a big enough divide, then, maybe it's time to move on. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go ahead and jump into the questions. Question 1. What is your Myers-Briggs type indicator, MBTI, and what does it tell you about your preferences? Well, if you are a millennial, you 100% took this test in school, and the code is ingrained in your brain because you took the test every year for like 5 years. I am an ENFJ. I didn't even have to look it up. I just knew. So, I am an extrovert. Generally, I am energized by people. Now, I recharge alone. That is a very distinct thing. I just want to let everybody know. N, I'm an intuitionist. I like to feel out a situation. F, I'm very feeling. I like to feel situations out, but J, once we make a decision, we're sticking to it. It's only a case-by-case basis for so long. So, ENFJ. That's me. Has this ever helped me getting along with other people? Absolutely not. You're better off taking the VIA skills test. I will put a link down for that. That was much more helpful because that tells you what your values are almost. It tells you what's important to you in like a really creepy, accurate way. There are lots of these tests. It's like the millennial Enneagram, right? I have no idea what my Enneagram number is. Don't ask me. No clue. I think all of these tests are bogus. But if you find someone else who's into Enneagram, great. Obviously, knowing your Enneagram and knowing someone else knows their Enneagram means that you already have something in common. Yay! But I don't think there's any point in trying to pretend that these tests are useful. Question 2. How can you use tolerance, acceptance, respect, and appreciation, Tara, to develop a deeper understanding of the people in your life? Tara seems like another one of those ladders from earlier in the chapter, like the happiness ladder. So like base, you're tolerating other people, and then you can at least accept them, right? And then you respect them, and then you appreciate them. I feel like I want to make like a little graph and write all of my friends and family like underneath each letter. Like, do I tolerate this person? Do I accept this person? Do I respect this person? And kind of use that to see how I can better my relationships. This seems like the most helpful thing from this chapter for me. Also, I feel like it changes daily. I would do that graph and then need to immediately do it the next day again, right? Depending on the interactions that I've had with people. But I think what would be helpful is realizing where you're starting from in a particular scenario with a person so that you can then improve it and keep it to a level that you want to keep it at. So yeah, Tara, I'm here for. Question 3. How can you be unapologetically you so that you're able to contribute more to others? Like I was talking about earlier, getting clear on my values, getting clear on the fact that being useful and minimal and responsible with my resources and sustainable with my impact on the planet, not only professionally but personally, has already changed how I have interacted with people. I'm finally getting clear on some of the things that are important to me, not just listening to what other people tell me should be important to me. And I think that's lost me some friends. I think that's gained me some new friends. And I've started to finally be honest with my friends and family about my preferences, I feel like a lot of us spend especially our early teen years, just being told like, oh yeah, this is cool, so you should want to do this too. If you want to be cool, you have to do this too. And we like hang on to that. We cling to that idea. I spent a lot of my 20s doing that too. It's like, oh gosh, I feel guilty because everyone wants to go out and party and club and stuff, and that's just not my bag. And I felt bad about it. And then it turned into like resentment that I didn't want to do that. And then I would like make fun of people who did go do that. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, no, if that's what you want to do, oh my gosh, yes, I'm so glad you have that. That is not me, so I'm not going to do that. But thank you. And what's weird is it's much easier than I thought it would be. Like being honest with like, nah, that's not me is a lot easier. I thought it was gonna be so much harder. I thought I was gonna get more resistance, but I haven't. If anything, I feel like it's drawn people closer to me who also share those kinds of values. And then it's kind of allowed other people to take their leave and not feel bad about it. And if I'm freed up from that kind of guilt of like, oh, I should be doing what everyone else should do, well, then I can focus on what I want to do. And then the things that I create that I like more because they're what I want to do will hopefully be of a better quality and create like a larger community. Win, 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 win. Like on all 5 sides. It's going to be great. Question 4. Love, trust, honesty, caring, support, attention, authenticity, and understanding. Which of these elements will elevate your relationships the most, and how will you incorporate them into your life? We got to the random giant list portion of the book, but God, this was boring and useless. But if I was going to pick one of those words to incorporate into my life, it would probably be understanding. I feel like I have a lot of the other things. I am honest, I am caring. I feel like a lot of people I know would agree with those kinds of statements. But because I hand out so much love, and so much caring, and so much attention and support, I don't even think about needing to understand people, which can sometimes be a good thing and sometimes be a bad thing. I will just like over care maybe in the wrong way if someone doesn't particularly respond well to the type of care and love and attention that I give. Whenever I show up to like a shoot or a social event, like I am the first person to be like, oh my God, I love what you're wearing. Give me a hug. Tell me all about your life. I'm gonna be the most excited person for you no matter what. But that doesn't mean I'm always listening and really understanding what that person is either saying or truly feeling or actually going through. And so I think if I slow down and literally just take one more minute to really understand someone or attempt to understand someone, I feel like that would really help just deepen relationships and make me even more efficient and succinct with my responses to people and with how I'm able to help people. And who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want to just have a friend who understands? I'd like to be that type of person. Question 5. If you were to make a list of all of your current relationships, family, friends, coworkers, Facebook friends, and even the folks you see only once or twice a year, how many of them would you reselect to be in new relationship in your life today, and why? This question is savage. This harkens back to their, right, the primary friends, the secondary friends, and the tertiary, but I don't think that's the word Joshua uses. That circle is tough for me. I like Tara better as like levels. I think there are definitely people that I would lose, but I don't know. Yet again, I feel like everybody has been put into my life for a reason. So even if it was a relationship that didn't last particularly long, I still value that time. There are very few people I would say in my life that I'm like, gosh, I would be better off if I never knew them. Even people who have done terrible things, either to me or people I love or the community that I'm in, there were still things that I learned. There was still value in that relationship, which may not be a particularly popular thing, especially if they did some horrendous things. But I can't say that I would like cut them from my life completely. Now, if this question means like, oh, don't worry about the past. Well, but if this question is asking like, knowing what you know now, who would you re-include in your life? I don't know. I can't say that I would like unselect anybody. I've done the big Facebook purges. I've done the big contact list purges where like, oh, I don't talk to this person anymore. I don't particularly need to be up to date on what's going on in their lives. That's happened for sure. I don't think that I would cut anyone. Those are the questions for chapter 7. Love people use things. Not gonna lie, it was a little anticlimactic. I know there's the epilogue or whatever, but there's the do's and don'ts, right? But the do's and don'ts are kind of bogus. It's like, be nice to people. Okay. But I think what I like about the end of that chapter, though, is about boundaries. I've gotten really good at setting boundaries for work, but I feel like my boundaries are like too high with my friends and family. Like people don't reach out as much as I'd like them to. I'd like them to cross my boundaries a little bit more. Ooh, risque. I think I'm more willing to have my friends and family like bust in on my life unannounced than I am my work, but I feel like it's been the other way around for so long that I don't know how to fix that. I think in the time post-COVID, we all need to invest in our friendships a little bit more. We've been away from our friends for so long. There will be some people who don't come back to you because they don't want to, and there will be people you don't go back to because you don't want to. But the people who have stuck by us, I think, deserve some reinvestment. So that's Love People Use Things, y'all. We did it. Epic. And now there's notes, and there's an epilogue, and then... what the fuck?